Hello, Kiri Honey here, and welcome to this week's session. We are talking about 10 questions for better physical intimacy. Now, I knew I was going to talk about intimacy, but I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to approach it this week, and this is what came up. So, we will talk about this. So, basically, improving your sex life and your physical connection with your partner, it will involve breaking down barriers, being open, being honest, being vulnerable, so you can start to fully understand and appreciate and empathize with each other. So today we are going to talk about 10 questions that you can ask your partner to get that intimacy ball rolling. Now, I want to include a little bit of a disclaimer here. I do not recommend starting at this stage. So if you are not feeling confident in yourself, maybe you're afraid of your partner's response, maybe you're going to feel blamed, or you're going to take their responses personally, do not go through this stage. Before you get to this stage, you need to work on yourself and building up your own confidence so that you can have these kinds of conversations. But if you are past all that and you're ready to have this conversation, these questions will help. So, as per usual, I am Kiri. My purpose is to help moms revive their relationship with themselves so they can have a stronger partnership, role model healthy relationships for their kids, and ultimately have more fun and connection along the way. My vision, I do believe that mothers are the foundation, the rock, the glue, the cement that holds our families, our communities, the society as a whole together. So when a woman, a mother feels empowered, that ripples immensely through our world. So, question 1. What do you enjoy most about our physical intimacy? So this question helps you understand what your partner enjoys, can guide you to do more of that to enhance your connection. You could also further that with, is there anything from our past sexual experiences that you would like to recreate? You likely have moments where things were really good, you were very connected, and so on and so forth. So why not recreate that and have a little fun? Be prepared, though, to avoid disappointment, because you don't want to get to a place where you compare to the previous time in case it's not as good. So do your best, be able to laugh at the situation, and recreate and connect in a fun way. Is there anything you'd like to try or explore together? So asking this question encourages you to share your desires, your fantasies, which can deepen your connection and ultimately lead to fun and new experiences. Again, like I said at the start, if you are not in a comfortable and connected place, this is not where you should start. Okay? How can I make you feel more desired and appreciated? Understanding your partner's emotional needs, how they connect, will significantly impact physical intimacy. So this is particularly important for women because they need that mind-body connection more than men do. But by asking this question, it's showing that you actually prioritize each other's pleasure and want them to be fulfilled, and enjoy the whole experience. Are there any changes or adjustments you'd like to make in our intimate relationship? So this invites your partner to express any concerns or areas for improvement. Again, you need to be in a place where you are not going to take this conversation personally. because this is about understanding each other's pleasure, understanding each other's enjoyment so that you can move forward and have a better connection. It is not about taking it personally or that assuming that if you haven't been doing this, that means that the last 10 years things have been awful. That's not what this means. You are trying to move forward, not concentrating on whatever's happened in the past, okay? It allows for you to openly communicate, to feel safe to communicate. This is super, super important, okay? And mutually grow together so that you can have an amazing sex life that you haven't maybe had in the past. Do you feel comfortable discussing our sexual desires and boundaries? So this is kind of a good place to start, because if you don't feel comfortable discussing this, then how can you get to a place where you do? So establishing open communication about boundaries, desires, this creates a safe and respectful space so that you can keep having these conversations and exploring and growing together. What can I do to help you relax and feel more connected during intimate moments? So, addressing what might be stressful, what distractions might be occurring that can get in the way of being truly connected. So, it's hard to feel connected if you feel like the other person is thinking about something else or is distracted in some way, right? So how can you work together to feel more connected? How do you prefer to receive affection and physical touch outside of intimate moments? So, moms, you might have a partner who comes up and gropes you or grabs you on the ass, and it's not your favorite thing. Guilty. What are ways that you would enjoy being touched that would help you want to be more intimate? So, understanding your partner's preferred love language will really help deepen your emotional intimacy, your physical connection, actually just wanting to be together in that way. So, what actions can help turn you on, and what actions actually turn you off? I know I've spoken to quite a few women actually, whose partners do what I just described, and it does have the opposite effect to maybe what your partner is trying to achieve here. And then, how comfortable are you with the frequency of our intimacy? So, this is a good question. Like, are you actually happy with our sex life as it is now? Or what would your ideal be? And looking at and discussing those kinds of expectations, or maybe not expectations, but ideal situations, and how can you work together to have more of what you actually want? How can I support you in prioritizing our physical intimacy? So, this shows that you are committed to nurturing the intimate nature of your relationship. You are looking to collaborate. You are looking to connect and hear and discuss and really come up with something together that works for you. So, what do you both need to be able to support not only your physical intimacy, but also your emotional connection and just being a priority for each other? And then another one is, what are your thoughts on scheduling dedicated time for intimacy? Now, I this this is an interesting one because it can become very routine. It can become boring. So, how can you make sure that you're both having your needs met? So, things might not be as spontaneous or as dramatic as maybe they were prior to having kids or any of that. You might need to have a bit more structure, a bit more routine, which is totally fine. And if that works for you, do that. If you need more spontaneity, how can you encourage that more spontaneous atmosphere? And basically, you're just trying to have a discussion, open up communication so that you can figure out what you both need. And if that's scheduling it, then it's scheduling it. I do believe that we do need to start with a place of regular commitment. It doesn't have to be like, we're going to have sex now, because that's a bit more like, it doesn't really work that way. But you can definitely schedule a time where you're going to connect with each other. And that could lead to sex, but the expectation of sex doesn't have to be there, especially if you're in the early stages of trying to reconnect. If you're in the early stages, your priority should be simply on being on the same page, simply being present with each other, and having that opportunity to prioritize connection, maybe in a way that you haven't for a while. So that is where I would start. And if you need to start implementing, like, maybe you're going to get naked together and you are going to do that for half an hour. And if it leads to sex, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Releasing that expectation is a really great starting point. Okay. So remember to approach all of these questions with empathy, openness, a willingness to listen to your partner's perspective. It is not about feeling blame. It's not about feeling shame. And we're certainly not trying to make the other person feel bad in any way. We are certainly we are just trying to be in a place where you can communicate openly and honestly without feeling judged. Okay, so that is the goal here. Again, do not attempt to ask these questions if you do not feel confident to, or you're feeling vulnerable, and you will take their response personally, because that is not the goal here. You must first build up your own resilience before you can ask your partner these things. So effective communication is the key to building a strong and fulfilling intimate relationship, but step one is definitely with yourself. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for joining me for today's training. If you would like to learn more about the exact tools you need to reconnect with yourself and your partner, you can book a free 15-minute coffee chat to discuss whatever is relevant to you at this time by booking using the link below. Thank you so much for being here today, and I hope you found this helpful. Bye-bye.